Welcome into the Ranch Sit Down. Our guest today, Palmer Anthony. How are you, buddy?
I'm hanging. I'm good.
Man, good to see you. Thank you
Yes,
so
sir.
much for coming out and chatting with us. I understand you picked up a guitar for the first time at the age of 14.
Allegedly, that's what I always say.
Allegedly?
Yeah, it was always recreational. I think for a long time, it was just I think to be the cool kid at a party or a bonfire, that kind of thing for a while. But by the time I think it was really, I think I'm more of a late bloomer compared to some. But I was really about 19 is when I started taking it a little more seriously.
You're in college.
Yeah, I was in college, and again, I think I started taking it a little more seriously because I loved writing. I think that was kind of the first thing that drew me towards it. I wasn't really playing any shows or that kind of stuff, but writing a song and trying to impress a lady or whatever was kind of how it may have gotten started. But
I was going to say, what was her name and for the reason you picked up the guitar? Because it seems to be that way for most guys.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think that at first, I couldn't even tell you, but I think at first.
He ain't going to mention that old
yeah,
name.
no, but irrelevancy.
I'm
but,
not going to get you in trouble, buddy.
No. But it's one of those things where I think my favorite part was the storytelling aspect of stuff, and that's kind of my major in college. Actually, was screenwriting. So I was trying to do film for a little while, and really didn't want to move to LA and do that whole thing. And so my teacher at the time, ironically, was this lady who used to write sitcoms, and she used to write for the show Cheers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's kind of a weird story, but she basically was like, "You have horrible focus abilities. Like, you cannot finish a 30-minute, show. Like, why don't you try songs?" And that's kind of where that started, and the 3 minutes was a lot easier than 30 minutes.
So you're basically writing 3-minute shows.
Exactly. That's kind of where it all started, and at least the storytelling aspect and that side of things. But the musicality kind of came later. I
Right.
would say.
So you were playing baseball as well in college.
Yeah, I was playing baseball. I went all the way out down in Southern California for, I guess it's like they call it Central California, but Santa Barbara down there. And I was doing that for 2 years and realized there's a lot better athletes out there.
There's a lot of athletes.
And then I was really after my second year that I kind of was like, you know what, I just don't think this is where I'm going to go with my life. And in the third year, I really took all the credits I could, and I graduated. My third year, I had a friend up in Lubbock, and I kind of heard about the music scene. I really knew nothing about whether it was too much about the Texas scene or too much about the Nashville scene. There really wasn't anything I knew about music. And so moved to Lubbock and started playing up there Monday nights at the Blue Light Live.
Yeah.
I was kind of doing that thing for a little bit, and that's where I learned just to perform and get people to listen to you. Was up there.
And that's one of the most important things for an up-and-coming singer-songwriter is to get on that stage, not just to sit around and video yourself singing all day long, but to get in front of a crowd. That's something you can't teach. You just got to do.
Absolutely. And that was one thing if people clapped, you could tell if it was a pity clap or if it was an actual clap.
Oh, he's done.
Yeah,
thank
you.
God.
Please leave, and I learned really quickly the songs that were working. And I remember something too. The first time I went up there, I brought like my lyrics on stage with me.
Oh, were they giving you hell about that?
No, I forget who it was, but someone basically there was like, "You're not gonna remember your own songs. How are other people gonna remember your own songs?" And I was like, "Dang."
Oh man.
So it hurt, but it was like one of those things. I'm like, they're right, and that's when I really started taking it serious. I think, and learning how to remember songs, remember chords, all that kind of stuff. And it was a lot of Mondays up there before I kind of came down here to the back Fort Worth. And that was one of those things where just cut my teeth in that part of it. And then I went to playing in the stockyards and that kind of stuff for a good while. And I still play there here and there, but that's kind of the steps. You have to take the steps.
Yeah, got to take steps.
Yeah.
You remember the first song that you wrote and you were like, "Oh my God, I've done something." Like,
yeah.
The first one you were proud of?
Absolutely. And that was really, I know the name of it too, it's a song called Small Talk. And that was one of those things where I was like, I think I showed my little brother, and he was like, "This isn't bad."
And see, little brothers are ruthless, man.
Absolutely.
Brothers are ruthless. They love each other. We love each other, but we're ruthless and mean to each other. So he was supportive of it?
Absolutely. He was really one of my day ones, and a lot of my friends in band, they're not afraid to, tell me the cold hard truth if someone's bad. But no, it was one of those things, right? It's like golf. You hit one good shot, you write one good song, and you just got the bug.
I'm still waiting for that good shot. You've seen me play golf. Like, man.
Hey, there was a couple there. I was like, hey, there he is.
There was a couple. Like, where, I bounced off the tree just right. It worked great.
Members bounce, huh? Yeah.
So, when you first decided to pick up a guitar and start writing your own songs, what was coming out? Was it country music? Was it pop music? Was it rock? I mean, what could you classify it even?
Yeah, I think for me, it's always steered towards country. I think just naturally, as far as what I was kind of raised on,
right?
With my parents, that kind of stuff. But it was a they liked kind of like the George Straits, and they liked even the rockabilly stuff like Dwight Yoakam and all that kind of thing. And my mom is actually, I'm half Hispanic. My mom, she liked like salsa music, so there's some rhythm in there and that kind of stuff. And but I will say, I think I started listening to certain records that I think steered a lot of my songwriting, at least desires. I loved listening to Turnpike, obviously kind of the basics, that kind of side of things, but there was.
I love that you said Turnpike was the basics.
Well, I mean,
That's
I know,
great.
but I guess it's like there's. I mean, like there's.
Growing up
the
in this scene, like you
It's
obviously
the
listen to
standards,
Turnpike. You
yeah.
obviously listen to
Randy
Randy
Rogers,
Rogers.
yeah, so,
That's how it works.
And there's obviously, I say the basics. I guess it's not the basics outside of Texas.
You weren't being offensive. It's
yeah,
okay.
no, I know, but then I think that I started digging into. I say digging into, but then early Casey Musgraves, that first record when it came out, I was kind of. That's when I was started to really think about songwriting and storytelling and writing from that small town perspective that she had.
Right.
Like, she was writing her own perspective. I really admired that, and so stuff like that I really enjoyed. I love the Mescalito, the Ryan Bingham record.
Yeah,
That's
such a good album.
As far as like energy, I listened to that. I was like, man, you can write songs that have a lot of energy, and they can sound slow at first, but I think those are kind of the records that I wouldn't say artists necessarily that really got me into the deep songwriting, but it was the records like that really
showed you kind of what was possible. It sounds like.
Absolutely, 100%.
Like, yeah, that's very cool. So, you didn't start writing till college while you're playing baseball. So, where was were you writing songs in your head on those bus rides to the game, or?
No, I mean, it was kind of like a cold turkey thing.
Really?
It was like
I'm done with baseball.
Done with baseball. I'm gonna start writing songs, and it was a solid 6 months of finishing. Because I graduated a little early, and so I was finishing all those credits as quick as I could. It was like finish credit, go home, and try to write a song for about 6 months, and then that was really my introduction to it, essentially. And then I moved to Lubbock for 6 months. I even lived in Nashville for like 2 years. Came back to Texas. I really bounced around, and I graduated. I'm a young graduate. I was 20 when I graduated. So
you were very. You were obviously. This is what you were going to do. This is why you make those moves to Lubbock and Nashville.
Yeah. And I really, and I think I'm the opposite. And there's a lot of people. I've seen people come up in the scene here in Texas and move to Nashville, and vice. I really haven't seen the opposite of that. And I think that was something that when I was living there for about 2 years, that moving back here, I was like, did I just fail at something? But it was really just like when I lived there, I wasn't writing anything that really inspired me or anything that made me feel like this is what I want to be as an artist. So I think moving back here and really understanding the records I was listening to, understanding the songwriters I liked, that's what I think helped me find kind of the more narrow songwriting.
So you've been in the Nashville scene, or at least been around the Nashville scene. You've been around the Fort Worth scene. Isn't it great how supportive people in the Fort Worth scene are of each other? Because Nashville just seems like it's every man for himself. I will cut your throat to get that opportunity. Here we're just we got each other's backs constantly. We're sharing ideas. It's such an amazing scene.
It is. It's really interesting because, like you said, I did live truly in both for a minute, and I think the biggest thing I notice is I love to visit Nashville once in a while.
Oh, it's a cool town.
And if you use, I call it the Beast, and if you use the Beast in its cage, there's a difference between coming in the cage, going inside the cage. That was the thing I learned, is that there's people there that are great and they can help you, and but if you want to be yourself and be an artist, the support system here in the DFW, Metroplex even, all the way from Stephenville to Denton, all kind of stuff, and there's just so much more of a I want this guy to succeed mentality, and that's just it's great. And we are spread out, I got friends in Lubbock, I got the Austin friends, that kind of stuff, College Station, but even then it's people will drive 3 hours to write with you because they and that's a lot different than driving 15 minutes, in Nashville kind of thing.
It's kind of nice to get to sleep in your own bed, though. Too.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I will say I don't hate that at all. But.
Right. So I remember the first time I saw you. We're about to come back to another Colton McBride Sunday Fun Day, which you're on. Is the first time I saw you. I walked out there and and got my tickets and got in, and people were like, "Hey man, you guys check out this Palmer Anthony kid." I'm like, okay, and I hadn't heard of you yet.
Yeah.
And because I just get inundated with stuff all the time.
All the time.
And it was like, you got to listen to it. You got to hear this kid. You got to hear this kid. I'm like, all right, whatever, because 9 times out of 10, it's usually not what I wanted to hear, but that's fine, whatever.
Yeah.
And I remember introducing you and walking back down to my table, and we're going through the songwriter circle there basically, and it comes up to your point, and it's like, oh my God. And I talk
Thank
to you
you, yeah.
afterwards, like, send me stuff, send
Yeah.
me stuff.
I know. I remember
Like,
that. I know exactly what you're.
man,
all
that
kind
was
of stuff,
such a cool moment for me, getting to hear something that I knew was special and something on the rise for the very first time. And that's like such a fun thing. And it's got to be fun for you to see that moment happen to people. And like when you connect with them, when you're looking down at them, and it's like, oh my God, they get it and
Yeah.
they love it. That's
No,
got to be such a cool rush.
And that really is like like you said, those moments have to happen in a
Mhm.
career for you to honestly want to continue to carry on, you know.
Yeah.
And like, and the funny thing is about like a guy like in your position, or folks like similar positions, like you guys never know what that young artist is going through at that time.
That's true.
And at that moment, I literally remember that moment because we had opened up first time at Cane's,
Mhm.
and it was I was hauling butt back to
Yeah,
get to
yeah.
get to that event, and I was exhausted. I think we had kind of not played our best, and I was a little frustrated.
Kind of down on yourself.
A little bit, yeah. And
Yeah.
and we didn't have any like shows booked for a little while, and I think I was just kind of bumming on myself a little bit,
Mhm.
and then there's moments like that where it's like puts another fire in you, and it's like keep going, man. Just like
That's great.
your songs are important, what you're trying to say is important, your voice is
Mhm.
important. That like young artists need that, and I was in my position, not saying I'm any bigger than anybody, but there's times I meet young people and I'm like, this is cool. Like
Yeah.
go do this. This
You-
part of your artistry is
You've
cool.
paid some dues, Palmer. You've paid some dues already.
It's been a couple.
You've had some crappy shows, I'm
Yeah.
sure.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
some just like,
Plenty.
wow, I'm singing to the bartenders again.
Oh, trust me.
Yeah,
trust
that
me.
happens.
Yeah.
But you got to go through that to enjoy the really good moments.
Absolutely.
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Now, last time we played golf, you were talking about you were working on a kind of a deal,
Yeah.
and that came through.
It did. Yeah.
Tell us about that.
And that's another one of the situations. And I basically, honestly, about this time last year, I really, this is right around the time that I kind of saw you at the at Sunday Fun Day. I was pretty at the point. I'm like, maybe I'll just be a songwriter. I didn't really
Mhm.
think the artist thing was. And I'd been about 3 years of touring relatively hard
Mhm.
as an opener. Couldn't sell really any of our own tickets, and we basically, I was like, man, we're out of steam, and but ended up just one of those situations where like kind of got to believe in the whole process, and it was like essentially July, August, September, we got a booking deal with a group out of Nashville called the Neil Agency,
Mhm.
and really the thing was I met with folks, other agencies, but they're just like, well, you need to like live in Nashville kind of stuff, and I was
wow.
basically like, I'm not leaving Texas,
I'm
you know.
good.
Yeah, and so and that was signed that back in I think it was September or something like that, and then we signed a publishing deal in November, and now that's really been something that's
That's awesome,
helped me a
man.
ton, and they let me. All I have to do is go to Nashville once a month, and
Mhm.
so I go there, and they let me
So,
pick the
are
guys.
you writing in a room with people?
There's times like
Is
that,
it different every time? It seems like?
but they say, who do you like, and I'm a big like Randy Montana fan,
Mhm.
he wrote all the Parker stuff, and they're like, Randy like heard some of my stuff, and he's like, why don't you come down to my house in Alabama? And so he let me go down there.
I
and
guess.
it was different. Yeah, it was one of those things. I'm like, I love that experience that I got to go. It wasn't in like a small little room,
Mhm.
and that allowed me more creative. And we wrote a lot of songs, and there's a lot of stuff that we're really excited about that's going to come out kind of back half of this year.
That's
but,
great.
But we're pretty pumped, and it's one of those things where I feel like I know you hear all the time, hurry up and wait. You know? And
yeah.
I feel like last 6-7 years, that's kind of what it's been, and now I think we're at the place where we got the songs, we we're in the process of producing them right now,
Mhm.
and we got the team, got the book agency, and it's just a lot. We're really excited right now. So.
That just gives an example of a few artists that always say, by the time the album comes out, I'm sick of the song.
Yeah.
Because there's such a long process to
It
get
is.
that out to
It
the
is.
public.
Yeah, and I'm the type that's like, can we speed this up?
Yeah,
Like,
I'm ready.
Very, very, very impatient.
Right.
And but I do think that as far as the new crop of songs, like, we'll have stuff coming out. It really is May, so that's kind of the
Okay,
goal.
that's
And,
great.
The goal for me is April, but like,
Right.
I think I'm hearing that it's gonna be a little
More
early
realistic is
May,
May.
early May. Yeah, but
Well, you want to play a song for us?
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
So, you've been working on all this new stuff. Are we going to hear something new?
what would you like? We have a song that's kind of been.
You can lift those arms up if you need to.
Oh no, it's all good.
Okay.
Yeah, I play something that's kind of. We released it. We have a song that's kind of climbing the chart now a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
I can play that one first or whatever. If you
Yeah, let's hear it.
want, and this is one. This is one of those rare cases where I think in most cases it takes a long time to write a song. That kind of stuff. It'll take me days, weeks, hours, whatever it may be. But this is one that kind of came out in about 45 minutes. So,
Wow.
And, yeah, this one's called "Ain't Looking for Love." Anyone would be surprised to find me here, buying drinks for strangers just to talk off their ear. But I didn't walk through that door for a girl to be anything more than a half-drunk conversation. I don't wanna keep you waiting, 'cause I ain't looking for love tonight. I'm still hungover from her last goodbye. Ain't asking where to find it or someone new to help me try it, 'cause I ain't looking for love tonight. 'Cause probably in a bar with someone new, sneaking out a smile in a corner booth. Anywhere but by my side, ain't looking for love tonight. Honey, can't you tell I'm going through it? And to be honest, I don't know what I'm doing. Ain't a single doubt in my mind. I could get lost in your eyes, but this bar stool's where I'll stay till she comes back my way. And I ain't looking for love tonight. I'm still hungover from her last goodbye. Ain't asking where to find it or someone new to help me try it, 'cause I ain't looking for love tonight. 'Cause probably in a bar with someone new, sneaking out a smile in a corner booth. Anywhere but by my side, ain't looking for love tonight. I wish I could fall for just one night, leave my heart at the bar one time, let the whiskey work, waste some words, wake up to a new sunrise. But I ain't looking for love tonight. I'm still hungover from her last goodbye. Ain't asking where to find it or someone new to help me try it, 'cause I ain't looking for love tonight. 'Cause probably in a bar with someone new, sneaking out a smile in a corner booth. Anywhere but by my side, ain't looking for love tonight. Ain't looking for love.
Very nice. Palmer Anthony hanging out with us here in the Ranch studio. Every artist likes to set goals for themselves. Pretty much every human likes to set goals for themselves. You know, there's an achievable goal, and then we'll go to another one and another one. What's the next goal for Palmer Anthony?
Yeah, I mean, I think for me the main goal right now is just get music out, and then
is to get this stuff out in April and not May.
Yes, that is the main goal, and I really think these songs are special. I think that I finally know what I want to say, know how I want to say it.
That's a good feeling.
I think the production's gonna like really show that in a way, and just really excited. Also.
So you were talking about being, you know, maybe I should just be a songwriter.
Yeah.
That got me to thinking. So if you like wrote a song, the dream artist to cover one of your songs, besides Taylor Swift, who's going to make you $1 billion, which I understand. I'm still trying to white run for Taylor.
Yeah.
Like, what would be that artist that covered it that would just be the ultimate moment for you?
Right, that's actually a tough one. I'm assuming alive, obviously, but and I think it's one of those things where nowadays everyone wants to write their own songs and not like record it. But
right.
if I had to say, I think if Casey Musgraves recorded a song that I wrote, I think they'd be pretty special.
See, she's been teasing that new album.
I know. I saw it yesterday.
And
I was
people
like,
are losing their minds.
Yeah, I know. Hey, and those first two records, man, those are
life changing for a lot of people.
Yeah,
man, that's like such a great songwriter and just an amazing artist. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So Casey, if you got room for one more,
yeah, I would say Randy Rogers too. But it's funny. I wrote for him like the first time recently.
Oh, did you?
And I was just like trying not to be like giddy, I was like, but it's like
it's the hardest thing to like hang out with your heroes and realize they're giant dorks. Yeah, it's great.
He's hilarious, man.
He is. I love
great.
that guy.
Yeah, but no, that would actually be pretty special too.
And that's another guy that takes advantage. And I guess how do I say this in a nice way? Take advantage of Nashville. Don't let him take advantage of you. I mean, he's got a condo out there in Nashville, and use them.
I know.
That's the thing. Yeah.
There's a couple of like him and like Wade.
Wade does.
Yeah. And I think who else, but those guys especially, I look at how they used it, and
Mhm.
and they even give me the whole like, this is how you should do it kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I listen because
And there's a way.
You know, there is a way, and there's.
Yeah.
And I like where we're at right now. We have the publishing situation, so if
Mhm.
there's writers I want to go write with,
That's great.
we can set that up, and to be honest, it's another little check for us to keep us on the road and take the hits if we have to. But no, I mean we have a really cool position. It's really just it's making it connect. Is that the biggest thing? I think that's
Mhm.
where our focus is, making people who are ready for this kind of music, want to hear this kind of music, make sure it gets them for one,
Right.
and then just making it for them essentially. So.
Palmer Anthony, man, thank you so much for chatting with us.
No, thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
It's been a
man.
pleasure.
I'll have to get back on the course soon.
Yeah, God almighty.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to see me in shorts again.
Yeah,
That's the hideous
man,
thing.
Hey, no, I'm here
Those
for
are
it.
your legs.
No, hey, man. I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you very much.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Good job, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Good job.
Yeah, Randy used to big